Hey everybody, welcome to Music Worth Buying. My name's TJR. I'm a musician and a music writer.
And I'm Robert Kinsler, and I'm a music writer and a musician.
And it's now episode 4 of our top 100 of all time. It's 16 through 20.
Right.
Okay, good.
And we are talking about our favorite songs, right?
Favorite songs.
Not favorite pizzas or something like that.
No, not favorite pizzas or favorite
hamburgers
enchiladas.
Yeah, something like that. Okay.
Our top 100 songs of all time. These are if this is your first time tuning in, these are our individual 16 through 20 as we count down our top 100 based on our own stream of consciousness thoughts. The first song that pops into our head, that's what goes next on the list. And so if you haven't seen the previous episodes, there's a playlist just that this is linked to. Just check that out. And anything you want to say before we get started?
No, just it's been a lot of fun, and I'm getting to revisit my favorite song, so you can't go wrong.
Do you want to do the honors, or shall I? So who will start?
Do you want me to start?
Go right ahead.
I can. I guess as long as we both get to
yes.
our 16 through 20, we're good. Well, my number 16 song comes from the Raspberries, and it's "Go All the Way," the band's most well-known song, and just a fantastic song that was released way back in 1972, but still just has such a tuneful, power pop, just greatness to it. It's just such an amazing song. It's dynamic. Eric Carmen just sings the hell out of it, and I just love that song. And it was a big hit. I'm going to have to look to my notes here, but the song reached the top 5 on 3 U.S. charts. It was number 5 on the Billboard Hot 100, number 4 on Cashbox, and number 3 on Record World. So no matter what way you looked at it back then, it was a big hit for the band, and I think it kind of cemented their legacy, especially with the power pop faithful.
That is a great track. Of course, I know that one. I grew up with that one as a kid. And that was remade by Matthew Sweet, and I can't think of her name at the top of my head.
Susanna Hoffs?
Susanna Hoffs, thank you, from the Bangles.
Oh, yeah,
didn't they remake that one?
I don't recall offhand. Okay, we'll have to look.
Wasn't that song featured in the motion picture, the Dark Shadows motion picture that Tim Burton directed?
It's funny. I just recently saw that movie, but I caught it on cable, but I didn't see the whole thing. I remember there was some cool, they take music from that time, from the 60s and 70s.
Let's pause and make sure we're talking about the same song.
We will.
We just checked it out, and yes, we are correct. This was off Under the Covers, Volume 2. Matthew Sweet and Susanna Hoffs did it in 2008.
Right.
Yeah, and it's a great cover.
Oh, it's a great cover. Yeah, we re-listened to it off camera. Just say, and it's such a great song. I mean, their version, if we had never heard the Raspberries, that very well could have made my top 100, favorite songs. It's just so fantastic. Yeah.
I like the contrast between the very heavy rock opening that starts the song, that dun dun dun, and you really feel, and it's just got this very aggressive feel. But then it goes into that verse that's very soft,
right,
and that beautiful chorus, of course. And I remember Susanna Hoffs said, when talking about that song, she said, "This is." I think it was her who said it. But I know it was either her or Matthew Sweet when they're talking about this release that they did called Under the Covers. She said something to the effect of, "The sweetest song I've ever heard about a shag." Is basically how she put it, or something like that. But yeah, cool song. Yeah, awesome pick. I love that song. And now I will.
And one thing along those lines, as I said, because of the sexually suggestive lyrics, it was the song when it came out was considered so risque that it was originally banned by the BBC. I'm sure that's not the case today, but it shows you how much things have changed since the early 1970s. Whatever the genesis of the song or whatever it says, it's just a great song.
It's so melodically beautiful. And the thing is, when I was a kid listening to it, hearing that chorus, it didn't even occur to me the sexual content of it.
Likewise.
I just enjoyed that chorus. It was just so cool sounding.
Yeah.
Okay, well, cool.
So that's number 16. And now what's your 16?
My number 16, Shining Star by Earth, Wind, and Fire off the album That's the Way of the World. And I honestly feel like I could do one of my in-depth analysis videos on just that one song. I did one a while back on the Beatles song, And I Love Her. I could do one of those on this song, and maybe someday I will. But all I can say about Shining Star, it's one of the most badass I forget the actual length of the song, but it's roughly about 3.5 minutes, give or take. But roughly one of the most badass 3.5 minutes I think I've ever heard. From that opening little spidery sounding guitar riff to when the horns first hit with that wow, you know, and come in and just like and lift you out of your seat, all the way through to that a cappella chorus at the end. That song has got so much going on in that 3.5 minutes than, you know, some epics take 10 minutes to tell. I mean, it is just such a great example of just so many ideas in a tiny little song. And I don't want to say tiny little song. I mean I mean length is what I mean. It's such a short song. It's one of those ones when I hear it, I immediately go back and put it on repeat again because it's like that's not enough. I need to hear more of this.
I love the song too. I mean, I've seen Earth, Wind, and Fire a bunch of times, and that is always one of the highlights of their set. Just a great pick. Thanks, pick. Man. Yeah.
So what is your number 17?
So 17 is a song, you know, I know we have viewers all over the place. People in Europe will probably all know the song. People in the United States may not necessarily know it. It's the Universal, and it's from the British band Blur. Blur is a band that basically in America is unfortunately only known for one song. That's song number 2. And if you don't recognize it when I'm saying it, just search for it on YouTube. 3 seconds into the song, you're going to know it's at every sports theater, you hear it. It's one of these hard-charging 90. That's not this song.
That's song number 2.
That's song number 2.
Okay.
The Universal is this beautiful song. Sounds totally different than that, and it's off the band's 4th album, The Great Escape, and it's just a very symphonic, just sweeping, just masterwork. It's just one. You know, Blur has many songs that I really like, and it's always made me sad that they've never. Made more of a splash in America. Even when they played at Coachella back in, I think it was 2013, you know, their crowds were not nearly as big as like some of the other headliners at Coachella. And I wish more people would discover Blur and check out the Universal. Do yourself a favor, check that out, and I think it'll maybe make you a fan of the band too.
I am not familiar with that song, but I'm going to get familiar with it now.
Good. Yeah, okay. It's a great song.
All right. So my number 17 is Manic Mechanic by ZZ Top, off the album, hopefully I say it right, De Guayo. My Spanish is not good.
Mine's even worse.
I'm the worst Mexican in the world, and because I am. People don't realize. I don't think people realize I'm Hispanic. I should mention that, but I'm the worst Mexican in the world. But yes, Manic Mechanic is another one of these very short songs that has an awful lot going on in it. It has got the most bizarre, off-kilter, funkified rhythm that I think you're ever going to hear. Are you familiar with this song?
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you know what I'm talking about. Just
exactly.
And it's just like, it's so cool. The lyrics are all spoken, and it's just such a bizarre song for ZZ Top.
Yeah,
Yet it totally fits in with their personality, their image, their reputation.
That's a
it fits
good way
perfectly.
To say it.
And I'm just surprised it hasn't gotten more attention, that song.
It's an interesting pick. That kind of surprised me a little bit, but now that you're talking about it and you're doing a great job, it's like, yeah, I can see that. Yeah, because I know I've had a few songs on my list, like when I chose Dada, I didn't choose obvious ones or maybe even hear Blur. It's nice that when you go, hey, not every song on your list should sound like every other song, because otherwise that wouldn't be very fun and very interesting. So that's a great pick.
Yeah. Thank you very much. So go check out Manic Mechanic by ZZ Top if you haven't. And so let's move on to song number 18.
Wow. And it's funny, we talked about Susanna Hoffs earlier, right?
Okay.
So there is a link here because my next song is September Girls, which was I don't know if it was a hit for the Bengals, but it was off their huge album A Different Light. And but September Girls was originally written, recorded, and released by the power pop great band Big Star. This was a song written by Alex Chilton. Again, you may not know the song right off. Everyone will know Alex Chilton because he was in the Box Tops when he was a teenager and sang that song The Letter, which was a huge hit. I don't know what year that was. I want to say the late 60s. But I would say about Big Star is that they were as great as, let's say, like a band like the Raspberries, but never had any commercial success. Their albums came out on labels that just, couldn't really give it adequate promotion or whatnot. The critics love the band, and they're so influential. When you hear bands like REM or The Replacements, the ghosts of Big Star are everywhere. So, but anyway, just September Girls is this really shimmering, beautiful track, just an amazing.
And that's off of A Different Light.
No, I'm sorry. Well, it was for the Bengals, but
yes.
The original version was released in 1974 by Big Star.
Okay, but your number 18 is the version by the Bengals.
No, my version is by Big Star.
Oh, by Big Star. Excuse me.
No, I was just saying because we were talking about
okay.
Susanna Hoffs earlier.
Oh, okay.
So I just thought it was really interesting.
Okay, so you're talking about the original Big Star release. My apologies. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I would recommend that you go. It's off the band's second album, Radio City. Just it's a fantastic album, but that I think is a masterwork on the album. It's called September Girls. Love that.
I'm sure I would recognize it if I heard it, only because I don't own the album A Different Light by the Bengals, but I have heard it in the past. So I'm sure if you played it, I would probably recognize it.
And what people might want to do is go play the Bengals version, and then because if you're familiar with the Bengals signature sound, and then so that way you kind of. It's familiar there, but then listen to September Girls by Big Star and rediscover, especially Big Star's first two albums that both came out in the early 70s, just amazing. And the band's whole history is kind of tragic. I think only one original member of the band is alive today, because of deaths or suicide and things like that, just very car accidents and things like that. But just very, very sad. Alex Chilton, I know, passed away, I believe, from a heart attack, and he was only in his early 50s. So just a very tragic history for the band. Hey, everybody, we did look really quickly. I wanted to issue a correction on Big Star. I was correct that only one of the original members of the band is alive, but the causes of death were not suicide with the members. Chris Bell died in a tragic car accident when he was only 27, and then Alex did pass away of heart-related issues like I referenced, and the other member of the band, who is Andy Hummel, he passed away from cancer. So I just wanted to make sure, made that correction. But it is a very tragic story. But go to BigStarBand.com and learn a little bit more about this band. You will, if you're a fan of melodic rock, if you're a fan of REM, Cheap Trick, The Replacements, Matthew Sweet, you're going to love Big Star.
Cool. Thanks for bringing that up.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to do my number 18 now, which is by The Police. And this is off the, of course, now legendary Synchronicity album. And this is a track that doesn't get a whole lot of attention, that people don't talk about much. And it's like Manic Mechanic, my previous one. It is one of these very short, compact songs that's a bit bizarre, but is just wonderful ear candy to listen to, and hopefully I pronounce it right. The song is called Miss Gradenko, and it was written by Stuart Copeland. The track is roughly about 2 minutes.
Wow.
It's that short, and it is one of those very pleasing tracks that I listen to it when it pops in on my random shuffle on my iTunes. I hear it and I'm in the car. I immediately, once it's done, hit replay. I have to experience it again because it's just so satisfying, and I just need to hear it more than those 2 minutes. Are you familiar with this one?
I am.
Okay,
great song.
And once again, it's one of these songs that has this kind of bizarre rhythm pattern to it that almost feels like you're in this sort of like a loop of a machine, kind of like, and it has this kind of weird, almost dreamlike quality to it. And the song's lyrics are bizarre too. I have heard a lot of theories about it, that it has to do with the British Secret Service, that Stuart Copeland's father was in the British Secret Service, and it has something to do with that. But these are just theories, of course. But I just love it for its just bizarre weirdness. And so that is my number 18.
Great pick, yeah. So now we're going on to number 19. Okay,
yes.
Number 19, I know I've done a couple songs that aren't that well known to everybody. I think at least all classic rock fans are going to know this song, and that's White Room by Cream.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just a great song. I mean, I'm just trying to think. It's almost hard to put in words why it's so great. To me, it was so far ahead of its time. Just, just a very interesting song, sung and written by Jack Bruce, who was the bassist and lead singer. And just a great song. And, one of the interesting things about it is originally it was released as a single, but there was a single edit but probably because all the DJs felt like I do, it was such a great song, they went ahead and just played the full-length album track. And that's kind of, so fortunately, what everyone does know is the full-length album track, which has that unbelievable guitar work by Eric Clapton on it.
First there's that opening with that da, where he's overdubbed. He's basically overdubbed every note in the chord that he's playing there. It's a chord, and I believe it starts with D minor, but instead of playing a D minor, he has overdubbed every single note in that chord as a single electric guitar note. Da, which, like I said,
so it gives it a sound that you just can't get anywhere.
You can't get
any
anywhere
other way. Yeah. And that's one of the things I was saying. It was so progressive in terms of its approach, but it's just a fantastic song. I mean, the recording is obviously interesting and it's great to listen to, but it's just a great song, and it doesn't really sound like any other songs of that time, I don't think, that I hear right away, even other Cream songs. So I've always loved, whenever it comes on, I just crank it up and just love that track.
I love that track too, and there's also the wonderfully surreal lyrics.
Yeah.
In a white room with black curtains at the station, and that are just very Alice in Wonderland-like, and I really enjoy those. Just sometimes I don't enjoy vague, bizarre lyrics, surreal lyrics, but this is an instance where I think it's really done well. I really enjoy that myself too.
And it's amazing to think that it was recorded in 1968, so that means the song is 50 years old now.
Wow.
I can't believe that. I mean, you think how great it is and how great it sounds, and I'm like, I can't believe that was recorded and released 50 years ago, and how contemporary in its power and urgency and creativity and everything we've been talking about. It's such a wonderful track, and that's my track number 19.
Okay, good pick. My number 19 is also by The Police, and it's off the same damn album, Synchronicity.
How dare you?
And it is not the title track. It is Synchronicity 2. There's Synchronicity on the album, and then there's Synchronicity 2. Synchronicity 2, and I don't know if you remember the video for that song, but that song has such a dark, apocalyptic feel to it. It feels like it's a song, I've often described it as a song at the end of the world. And you may remember the video where Sting is up there, like it's been a long time since I've seen it, but it's like he's standing on the top of this huge mound of like old TV sets and garbage and just stuff, and he's dressed very like it looks very like it's the end of the world or something, and the rest of the band's kind of in this stark background with their instruments. And it's just got this incredibly dark tone. It's so effing aggressive.
Yeah, it is.
The lyrics are so bleak. Only in music is this fun.
Yeah.
Only in music is dark, bleak, despair, exciting and fun. And this is a perfect example of that.
Yeah, good point.
And once again, it's a track that people don't talk about when they talk about The Police.
No, they don't. And it is. It's a fabulous track. Yeah. Really good one.
And that's my number 19.
Number 19.
And
so I'm going to round out 20. Now, a few episodes ago, maybe it was just an episode ago, I promised when you featured the Jayhawks Blue that I was going to be coming back with a Jayhawks track. It was already on my list, and that's the song that appears after Blue on that same album, which was Tomorrow the Green Grass. And that's I'd Run Away, which is a track. I just love that song. That was, I think, how I fell in love with the Jayhawks is when I heard that song. It was on a alternative FM radio station back in 1995 or around the time of the album's release. I heard that song, and that got me to go out and get the album, and I've just been a huge Jayhawks fan since. So probably because that was my introduction, I just make a personal, very deep connection. But I just love that song. It's so amazing. I
don't think I'm familiar with that one. But yeah, definitely want to.
Well,
check it out.
if you listen to even on YouTube or Spotify, listen to Tomorrow the Green Grass, so everybody knows Blue. I think that's a better known song. But I'd Run Away is right after that. Just a beautiful, wistful song. Just love that one.
Cool.
And that's my number 20.
Excellent. So now it's time for my number 20, which is going to be the end of our show. And but don't worry, we'll come back with another 5.
Okay.
We'll do 21 through 25.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're slowly chipping away.
Slowly chipping away. And there's been a kind of a theme to this 5 that I've done, which is these are all very short songs by well-known groups, And with the exception of Shining Star, which was a huge hit, these are oftentimes, I think, overlooked and not as well known by these well-known bands.
True.
So this is the first time that Van Halen has cracked into the top 100 here, and they're cracking my top 100 with Light Up the Sky from Van Halen 2. And I don't think you're that familiar with the Van Halen catalog.
No, I'm not.
And this is,
the hits,
once again, a very short song. And it just opens with this amazing, just this incredibly fast ripping riff, this kind of and it goes like that, you know, just really like and then it's got this furious pace, and it's got these amazing lyrics from David Lee Roth. A lot of people diss on David Lee Roth. Sometimes he may not have written the best lyrics, but sometimes he would really pull some really great stuff out of his hat. And I think he got better as the years went by. He got better and better at lyrics. But this also has these incredibly bleak lyrics. You're not 100% sure what he's talking about. I'm sure maybe he doesn't know either. But it's the selection of words and the way he's placed them that makes it work. But something about watch the children lighting up the sky, you know, and you won't recognize them anymore. And I should play it to you once we're done here.
Okay.
We've kind of recognized, and I think you should play some of yours when we're done here too.
Okay,
I don't recognize.
Good. Okay.
But just an amazing piece of balls to the walls, heavy rock, metal, furious, yet still melodic and still very well melodically constructed, without becoming just you know, without just becoming absolute speed. It's still got this precision to it, and even I would say there is I guess precision is the best word. I was almost going to say an eloquence to it, even though it's so aggressive, and that's just because it's just so finely. Every note, every phrase is so finely put together. That even though it's metal, it's as metal as you hear Van Halen get, it still has this wonderful sense of precision, timing, and just it's just wonderful. I'm sorry, I'm running out of words here. But at any rate, though, that's my number 20, Light Up the Sky from Van Halen 2. And it's a track that people just don't talk about. Everybody knows that album for Dance the Night Away.
Yeah.
Great
I don't
song.
know. I don't know that song, so I'll have to hear that and check that one out. Definitely.
So those are our 18 through 20. I keep losing
16
through 20. Excuse me.
16, yeah, because we're doing 5 every episode.
That's right.
At least we're trying.
Yes.
No, we are. We're doing 5 each episode.
And so with that said, we would ask you now. A lot of people have been participating and giving their 5 as well as we do each one of these. So now we would like to hear your 16 through 20. Leave your 16 through 20 in the comments. Share it with everybody else. I have really been enjoying reading everybody's lists.
I have too.
I have not been able to comment on everybody, but I've really been enjoying checking out everybody's list and just hearing the songs that checking out the songs that I recognize and the songs that I don't recognize.
And so many of my songs that I love, I see on the list. I go, oh, good, a lot of like-minded folks. So, and like you said, it's great to maybe see a song in there that you don't know too, and then go check that one out.
Check it out. Yeah. And so everybody, please leave your comments. As always, if this is your first time, if you've never subscribed, please click subscribe. Be sure to click that bell icon. That's the notifications icon. It lets you know when we release new videos. And if you want to help us make more videos, please go to the Patreon page and become a Patreon supporter. You can pledge whatever you like. We're not going to put any limit or anything on it, but even if you can just do $1 a month, if you can just afford the cost of 1 cup of coffee a month, that makes a huge difference in helping us, get equipment that we need, and also just afford us the time to be able to make videos. And so please go to Patreon and support. And I guess that's it. I think so for this. We'll be back with
21 through 25.
21 through 25. Thank you for helping me keep track of my numbers.
And since we're doing Stream of Consciousness, when we get done shooting and after we've done some listening over the next few days, weeks, I'm going to go, okay, what are some other... And then the songs always seem to come. I say,
they just pop right out.
They pop up, One
song leads to another.
Exactly.
And so we'll look forward to coming back with our next set, with our next 5. And everybody, as always, just thank you for watching. And we'll We'll see y'all soon.
See you later.
Bye.